Walter, Robert Jermaine, Chris Woznicka, Kate Fiorillo, Steve Rotino, Teresa Roth, Elka Johans, and Wayne Freeman. Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Boyke. Here. Counselor Carr.
Here.
Counselor White.
Here.
Counselor Bacallo.
Here.
Supervisor Meyer.
Here. First item on the agenda, Ms. Roth, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, number 2 on the agenda, Nancy.
Approval of abstracts. Resolved, the Cicero Town Board approves abstracts number 42 dated 10/20/2021 and number 43 dated 10/27/2021.
Second.
Boyke, discussion on number 2. Clerk will call the roll.
Counselor Boyke.
Yes.
Counselor Carr.
Yes.
Counselor White.
Yes.
Counselor Bacallo.
Aye.
Supervisor Meyer.
Yes, item is adopted. Thank you. Next item, please have the clerk note the time. Have a public hearing to establish a sewer remediation trust fund. The clerk has provided documentation of proper posting. Whereas the town is in need to establish a sewer redemption trust fund to collect funds from applicants making new sewer connections or changing use on an existing sewer connection that results in an increase in flow to the system, pay a one-time fee for I&I reduction. And whereas individual homeowner connections will not be subject to the fee unless special circumstances are involved. Now therefore resolved, the Cicero Town Board sets Wednesday, October 27, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. At 8236 Burton Road for a public hearing to consider a sewer redemption trust fund law and to establish a sewer redemption section in the Cicero Code Book, and will be proposed as local law number 13 of 2021, effective upon filing with the New York State Secretary of State. Okay, there's Kate. Kate, would you like to address this issue, please? Please go to the microphone.
Okay. This is really so when the county, when any new development comes along and the county planning board sends an approval letter, they require a 1-to-1 offset for whatever sanitary flows are being increased. So if you have a new development and they anticipate they're going to have 1,000 gallons per day of new sanitary flow, they are required to do a 1,000 per gallon I&I offset. I&I is inflow and infiltration, which really is a lot of rainwater and groundwater. So the sewer system locally has capacity in dry weather, but in wet weather, it's running out of capacity. It needs to be fixed. You know, there's low manhole covers, a lot of different breaks, different things. So this is telling the developers they're required to do it, but the county will probably come back on the town. This is taking the money, so we'll either negotiate with the developer to do your own project, or we'll take the money and we'll do projects. And that's what that law is. It's just kind of codifying a practice that we already had, but now they're getting much stricter. We wanted to put a law in the books.
So that's why it's so important to make sure these leaks get taken care of so it doesn't overflow the system.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, any other residents like to speak on this issue? Okay, town board members, any comments on this item? We'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting. Hearing no comments, we'll close the public hearing and we'll move on to the next item. Number 4, the board approves hiring a recreation attendant, whereas the recreation department has a need for a recreation attendant to act as an assistant to Stephen Jones, recreation leader, for the Future Stars basketball program. Now therefore be resolved, the town board approves to hire Mackenzie Russell as a recreation attendant, an hourly rate of $12.50, retroactive to October 19th, 2021, budget code B702013, and be it further resolved, the hourly rate of $12.50 will be fully covered by program registration fees.
Second.
Second. Discussion on number 4. Did you have any comments, Teresa? Clerk will call the roll.
Counselor Boyke,
Yes.
Counselor Carr,
Yes.
Counselor White,
Yes.
Counselor Bacallo,
Aye.
Supervisor Meyer.
Yes, item is adopted. Thank you. Number 5, the board approves hiring a park laborer, whereas the Recreation Department will have a vacancy as of November 1st, 2021 for a parks laborer, and whereas the Recreation Department has found a qualified and eligible candidate after doing a thorough employee search, now therefore be resolved, the town board approves to hire Jacob Berdage as a parks laborer effective November 4th, 2021 at an hourly rate of $18.50, budget code A71101.
Second.
Second. Discussion on number 5. Any comments, Teresa? And so still vacancy is coming up. Okay. Clerk will call the roll.
Counselor Boyke,
Yes.
Counselor Carr,
Yes.
Counselor White,
Yes.
Counselor Bacallo,
Aye.
Supervisor Meyer.
Yes, item is adopted. Thank you, Nancy.
Approval to purchase new Hyundai mini excavator. Whereas the Highway Department needs to purchase a 2021 Hyundai mini excavator. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board approves Tracy Road Equipment for New York State contract number PS 69107 in the amount of $766. 2019 John Deere backhoe trade-in value $66,500. Total was $67,266. Account code DB 51302.
Second.
Second, Ms. Boyke. Discussion on number 6. Hearing none, clerk will call the roll.
Counselor Boyke,
Yes.
Counselor Carr,
Yes.
Counselor White,
Yes.
Counselor Bacallo,
Aye.
Supervisor Meyer.
Yes, item is adopted. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Nancy, 7.
Rescind town acceptance of Terex Drive. Whereas Terex Drive has not been top coated as previously thought, and the town of Cicero had accepted the dedication by deed dated 3/27/2019. And the town typically takes the road over once the top coat has been installed, and we hold the guarantee for 2 years. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Cicero action of October 25th, 2021, accepting the road is hereby rescinded, and the previous approval open to the public is now null and void until the top coat and 2-year guarantee period has expired and the town board takes action to accept the road.
Yeah, second, folks.
Second.
Ms. Boyke. Chris,
There was a miscommunication between O'Brien and Gear and my department over the last 2 years with this. So, got by us, got on the agenda. So I spoke to the owner of the road this morning, and they're gonna try and get it topped this fall, but it's probably going to be.
okay, thank you. Any other comments from the board? Clerk will call the roll.
Counselor Boyke,
Yes.
Counselor Carr.
Yes.
Counselor White,
Yes.
Counselor Bacallo,
Aye.
Supervisor Meyer.
Yes, item is adopted. Thank you. Okay, getting into the budget review, I do not see anyone here from the court, so Elka, you get number 8.
I'll take the court. Okay, as far as the judicial budget, you'll see that the personal services line has gone down. That's due to not having any real police officers that are now that now do constable work. The police were given an award to not pursue any constable work, so that's just being handled by our 3 constables right now. The judges had requested a 3% increase, but that was reduced to 2% as the rest of the elected officials. Excuse me. The rest of the court staff had increases of 2%. The overtime is steady. That's the overtime that the clerks work for the courts after 4 o'clock on usually Tuesdays and Thursdays. The constables increased that line a little bit. Equipment stayed steady. The contractual expense increased. And other expenses also pretty much held steady. Little extra for the computer labor because there's always something that needs to be fixed.
Okay, questions from the board? Okay, moving on, number 9, town clerk's budget. Tracy?
Yes, good evening. The town clerk's office provides personal and efficient revenue-based services, and there's also multiple services that are provided to the community that are just service-based. I would like to thank the board in advance for their time and consideration on the town clerk's proposed 2022 budget information that I provided them, and I respectfully ask if they had any questions to please contact me at any time. The operational, and I hope that, I am very hopeful that the information that I provided regarding the salaries will be considered. The only operational town hall increase is the town hall roof, removal and replacement at town hall, that I would recommend to start the bidding process with the county. It needs to be addressed. That is what the building contractual increase only is for the operation of town hall. There was a substantial amount that's going to be given back to fund balance due to the conscientious and conservative cutting cost to operate the town hall in this budget for 2021, according to the comptroller's report that I received. The town historian, that was just increased for the services of Mallory Abbott, who is presently the president of the Cicero Historical Society. And I strongly feel, we had pulled up some figures back in 1994, and it was that amount back then. So I strongly recommend that at least goes up $500 to $1,000. That's the only increase you're going to see there for the historian. And the celebrations, we usually give a donation. We've got in there for the parade that they do for the JH American Spire. And that is all that I have. You should have had 3 sheets from the town clerk's office. And at this time, if I would be happy to answer any questions that the board may have for me. Thank you.
Any questions from the board on any of these items? Okay, if you please go to the operation of town hall budget page. First item on that page is rather large change. It went from 60,000 to 260,000. As the clerk said, that was for a roof. I'm happy to tell you that I received a letter from the county executive saying that the hard work that Ms. Fiorello and Ms. Roth did as far as their applications for some of that county COVID relief money has been successful, and that the county has agreed to support that project for $200,000. I have to caution all the board members, however, that $200,000 was not the entire cost for the entire project that they made an application for, because they anticipated the opportunity to make some other modifications in the building. And if we had an opportunity to get some money out of the COVID relief money, we were going to try to make applications. So the number we had for $200,000 for the roof was not a engineer spec quote. So don't get the idea that, oh, it was 200,000 solid number, we're going to get 200,000. The board still has to next year go through the regular spec program and see what the real solid number is going to be. So it's good news. It may help our budget a little bit, and it will help this building. This building is, if you remember, that side over here goes back to the early 1950s, 1957. That's an old roof. So this would be a great opportunity to stop the leaks that the staff is having to work around, in this building. So some good news on that item in the budget. Any further questions on those items? Okay, Tracy, thank you very much. Okay, Elka, you're back up to bat.
I'm back up and I will give you information.
Ooh,
on the information systems budget. I'm making it up as I go along. No, I've studied these numbers. As far as the equipment, figure of $25,000, that represents any computer equipment that would need to be purchased on a town-wide basis. The computer labor departmental and the computer maintenance and support, these are basically charges from BOCES, which departments may require for specific items that pertain to computer needs for their budget. The other item is, our internet service, and then our wonderful computer consultant who we couldn't live without. So keep Wayne happy. He makes me happy. So our information budget overall, though, has gone down by $2,000. If you have any questions, I'm going to defer them to Wayne. Got that? Where'd you go? Oh, all right, there you are.
I think the board remembers that over the last couple of years, thanks to the help of Wayne and Mr. Bacallo, we have gone through and take care of what I'm going to call the low-hanging fruit, things we could do pretty quickly and to help the security of the computers and the system in this building and our various buildings. So we've done the easy ones, Wayne, and hopefully now we can continue to beef up our security and beef up the computers. Would you like to add anything, Wayne?
Counselor Bacallo and I have looked into a program called CityLine. It's something the city of Syracuse is using. We had some preliminary discussions with that company. And after the budget process, he may want to have a very brief presentation at one of the board meetings for online access for the citizens to put in complaints, concerns, things like that, that would go directly to departments. In the last year, we've upgraded the firewalls at the recommendations of BOCES for our cybersecurity. That's been pretty important. I've also been doing telecom work in the last year. Supervisor Meyer helped me with that. I don't know if anybody knows here, we have these sewage pump stations around the county, around the town of Cicero. We pay for those, or the telecom for all those stations. We had one station in particular that the phone bill was $2,500 a year. We resolved that. Bill helped me quite a bit with that, with getting some people in the county to finally address this. We have changed that to a cellular solution that the county is using and implementing in other places. They manage this, but we're responsible for the billing. So we've done some things like that. So we've purchased equipment for the county, and that bill will go to $300 for the next year instead of $2,500. For the future, what we're going to do here, I have some concerns in the tax office, the assessor's office, and the codes office. They're all using county systems for whatever they do for work. And there's some speed issues with that. So we're going to look in the coming year at what we can do for maybe an alternate connection to the county that's going to make those offices a little more efficient and faster. We're going to replace some equipment and upgrade some equipment. We're doing some now. BOCES just got the new state pricing with Hewlett Packard instead of Dell for the upcoming year. The only problem with getting new computer equipment, there's about probably a 3-month lag to get computers right now because of the chip issue that's worldwide. All right, anybody got any questions?
Thank you, Wayne. Any items from the board?
This discussion?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I do. Thank you. For each month, it seems like we come up with, right now we're in breast cancer month, and we have National Dog Month and National Grandparents Month or whatever. For a lot of you that don't know, this is National Bully Prevention Month. And I found that it doesn't seem to be publicized enough. So I just thought I'd talk about it for a few minutes tonight. The definition of bully is intentionally hurting of a person by others or a group where it involves power. There's also bullying where we have silent bullying, which creates mental health epidemics. And bullying runs rampant, not even with kids in schools, but everywhere. It says there are many unfortunate consequences occur for bullied individuals that bullies don't think about when they do it. The types of bullying that affect mental health are physical bullying, verbal bullying, emotional, racist bullying, sexual bullying, and cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is right now quite easy to do because it's there. The opportunity is there. You hide behind a screen and then you can say just about anything you want until you get caught, and then maybe they'll shut you down. Part of the bullying is in the response to a bullying is never respond. You either delete it, you delete a post, you ignore it, or you block them. And I hope that a lot of the folks who have kids that think about that and really pay more attention, because it's quite serious and it's something that we really need to think about. And I think I'm wearing purple tonight for that very reason, because cyberbullying this month is to wear purple. Thank you.
Any other board members? Public input? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Joyce Villeneuve, Ontario Ave. I'm wondering if there have been changes to the budget, which is preliminary budget, which is posted as of 9/29 online, and if so, will the updated budget be available before the public hearing?
There have not been any formal changes. I believe once we get into the public hearing component, there are some, I'm going to call it typo errors and things like that. But if your question, Ms. Villeneuve, is have there been any substantive, however you say that word? Substantive changes? No, there's, I'm going to call minor typos and things like that.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you. The other thing is, I didn't realize that the town hall was available for making ads. So I'm wondering if you could tell me what the guidelines are, if there's an application that you need to be able to come in and film in the hall to post ads.
I'm not familiar with a formal policy. We'll have to look that up, and I'll speak to the clerk. If you want to talk to the clerk, maybe she can dig out the records before, I can. So
Okay,
talk to Tracy, that'd be great.
thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else? Yes, sir.
Days backstretch path to respond to you. It's our hall. We should be able to use it. Not yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, next meeting is Friday, a couple days, Friday, the 29th, 4:30 PM. Move to adjourn.